What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 5, episode 8. The episode is titled "We Wanda Mark the Boundaries." You guys, interesting title for the episode. But hey, before we go ahead and just jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you get, excuse me, y'all, didn't mean to burp in y'all's face. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a solid favor and please stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that big solid favor by subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, giving me a big huge thumbs up, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode, we open up and we see Kimmy. So Kimmy is now look like she's with Maurice with the real estate business, right? So I love the fact that Kimmy is talking about, because they're talking about a title company, right? And she's talking about this being, basically a title company for us, by us. And I love it. I love anything that we as black people do to help other black people. I love to see it. And I think that's one of the aspects of this show that I initially liked in the beginning with the comeback crew, how their ideas were to build housing in areas where black people, probably either couldn't get a house or couldn't afford a house, right? So I'm loving that I'm kind of happy that we're kind of starting to get back to the original premise of this show. We can still keep some of the drama, but I want to get back to the original concept of Love and Marriage Huntsville, how this was a show to highlight black people in Huntsville doing the damn thing in real estate, law, all that kind of stuff. I'm happy that we're back to where we are, right? Slowly but surely. So then Maurice and Kimmy talk about the meeting with Maurice, Kimmy, Martell, Melody, Letitia, and Marcel, right? Kimmy really didn't initially want to talk about it, but I love the fact that Kimmy stated to Maurice, like, the people that we bring into this collective, we all kind of, to an extent, hold a certain responsibility for those people and the things that they say and the things that they do. She's mostly speaking about Mark Scott as well as Wanda. Excuse me, y'all. So, what she was saying is, if everybody wants for Letitia to, kind of rein in Ms. Wanda, then why don't Marceau and Maurice do the same for their brother Mark? And I actually said his name for once. So yeah. And I know Maurice and Marceau are trying to say that when it comes to Mark, that you can't really control him. Well, he's making, like I told you guys a few weeks ago, that I watched a live that he was on with these women and he was completely disrespectful to them, right? And the things that we'll talk about Mark in just a little bit. Like, I understand Mark, but I don't understand Mark at the same time. So I'm going to explain to you guys later what I mean by that. So next up, we see Melody and Kiki. Now, you guys can agree or disagree with me when it comes to this Melody and Kiki situation. So Melody and Kiki are supposed to be good friends, but they're not like that. They're not really that close, right? Honestly, for me, when it comes to Mel and Kiki, I feel like Kiki is a friend of Mel's when it comes to filming. Now, I know people might want to say, well, JB, Melody and Kiki knew each other before, Melody and Tisha knew each other. That's all fine and dandy, right? But it just seems very convenient. And I know people probably say, well, Melody was trying to get her on the show, but the Scots were blocking it. Okay. How can the Scots block it if she's on the show? That's the only question that I have. How can somebody block them? I know how it works in reality TV, that if you don't have people, if people say that they don't want to particularly film with you, you can't come, you won't really be able to come on the show without people to film with. I get that part, right? But Kiki has been on this show before. Kiki has been on this show before this season and y'all know this season. Kiki has been on this show more than once, right? So let's stop playing, because Kiki was on there going hard at Kimmy at Letitia's graduation party. So y'all can't say that, oh, they've been having issues. They might and it's their family. Do you guys not have? Aren't you guys always perfect with your family? But like I said, my thing is I feel like Mel is my nose ring. You guys can really see it. I feel like when it comes to Mel, this is just another person to film with. That's another person that's against her enemy, Letitia. Like y'all can't pay me to believe that that's not what the situation is. So they do talk about, the incident that happened at, the Madani relaunch, right? And I'm not taking away from how Mel felt about Miss Wanda. Were the things that Miss Wanda said disgusting? Yes. But I mean, like I keep saying, and like we all say, you cannot dictate how a person responds to things that you say and do, right? So so Melody went on the nightcap with Carlos King and said Miss Wanda's baby daddy's in her DMs, right? You can't control how Miss Wanda comes back at you, and she came back at you in the most nasty and disgusting way, talking about your child and the father of your child, right? So I want Mel to stop playing as if she's innocent of the situation. Please stop that, Mel, because you're not innocent. So then they talk about the meetup, right? Now, Mel said one thing that I actually did agree with was the fact that Letitia keeps sitting here saying that she doesn't know what her mama's saying. Letitia, you know full well what your mama's saying. If I know some of the things that your mama said and I don't follow your mama, I I don't follow your mama. I don't know what her Instagram, social media, Facebook, none of that stuff is, but I do see it in the blogs. I do see it on, you know, the blogs that report about Love and Marriage Huntsville or any of the black reality TV shows like Housewives of Atlanta and all that kind of stuff. Those same people post those clips. So if I can see it, you can see it. So I want Letitia to stop with that shit. Stop with that. So then Kiki tells Melody about, them in Bessemer, right? And when they got into it, and she said that Marceau tried to blackmail her. So I'm going to pause here because I'm going to dig deep into that whole blackmail comment. All right, you guys. So when it comes to the blackmail comment, I want Kiki to know the difference between a threat and blackmail. What Marceau was doing was not blackmailing you. Marceau was just issuing a threat. I think it was an idle threat, to be quite honest with you, because when he said, "Say, put it all out there, I'll burn all this shit down," that wasn't blackmail. Blackmail is politicians. Let's think about the politicians, right? You know how, like, if a politician is having an affair and their wife or husband doesn't know about that affair, then actually this is blackmail and extortion, what I'm about to use, but blackmail is I have some dirt on you, right? If you tell what you know, then I'm going to in turn tell what I know. That's blackmail. All Marceau said was, if you put my shit out there, better believe I'm gonna put your shit out there, right? So it's not really necessarily blackmail, because blackmail, it does go in the same realm of extortion, right? Blackmailing, you want something from a person. Blackmailing a person, you're blackmailing them to do something. Not, he was threatening you, saying, "Hey, you do that, I'm gonna come back against you." Blackmail is, I have this dirt on you. I need you to do me a favor. I need something in return from you, so that way I don't tell what I know. That's blackmail, which sprinkle in a little bit of extortion with that, right? So that's blackmail. What Marceau did, he was just issuing a threat. So we finally find out what the situation is, because you guys remember Kiki's whole thing was, remember, she was upset with Letitia because they told Melody and Martell something, right? So we finally know the backstory of what it is, right? So Kiki lets Melody know that she had a substance abuse problem, right? She had surgery, she got addicted to pain pills, and she got to the point where she was stealing people's pain pills, right? Damn, that's see, and that's my whole thing when it comes to these politicians, right? Politicians or people in general, right? how they love to blame, talk about certain drugs, right? I.e., weed, and they don't want to make that legal. But you got these prescription pain meds that is the opioid addiction is the worst. That's the highest one that you got right now. The opioids. I think it's. I'm not. I don't know this for a fact, but I know opioids is like because that's the easiest thing for people to get. That's like one of the easiest things. Opioids, over the counter medication, like all of those things are. But you know what? That's a different story for a different day, right? So I do want to sit here and say that when it comes down to the situation, Marceau and Letitia, it wasn't their place to tell Melody and Martell. But what I can understand, and I'm not saying that, I'm not justifying what they did, right? I'm not saying that they were right in what they did, but if I got a family member that I know recovering or is a functioning drug addict, right, and my friend invite them over, I'm gonna be like, I wouldn't go as far as to say, you know, so she just got out of rehab and she got a drug problem. I wouldn't go that far. I would just kind of give my friends a little bit of small forewarning saying, hey, so my cousin's coming over. My cousin is, my cousin has some demons that he or she is battling, and they've done. Well, I don't even know if I would say that though, because it's interesting. Because it puts you, because you will be put in an interesting predicament, right? Because like, let's just say, for the sake of saying, that your cousin comes over and you don't even tell these people that are your friends that your cousin has a drug problem or is a thief or is anything, right? You don't tell them because that's not your business, right? But then let's say that something happens at their home and they come over, they steal some medication, they steal some stuff out of their home, and then they find out and they be like, well, shit, if you knew that, why didn't you tell me before they got here? So it's kind of a catch-22 when you think about it, because it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So I don't really know. Let me know what you guys think about that, because it's an interesting situation to be in. It's like, do you tell or do you not tell? Now, once again, like I said, it wasn't Letitia nor Marceau's spot to tell that business, but I just had to think. I just thought about that, right? So next up, you guys, we got the Scott brothers, Maurice, Marceau, and Mark. They're meeting up. So I don't want to spend too much time on Mark, so I'm gonna just sum it up. So I'm gonna sum it up kind of like what I just did with Kiki, but I went deeper with Kiki because Kiki ain't been on social media and attacking people. Mark Scott, however, attacks people, right? He goes at Melody and Miss Vanessa. Do I get his situation? Absolutely. Him and Miss Vanessa were in a relationship, and honest to God, I believe him. You guys might not, but I do believe that him and Miss Vanessa were in a relationship. I don't know why Miss Vanessa. I don't know why she won't say that they were, because it does feel like it's under the cloak of Christianity and religion. It does feel like that. So I do believe him in that instance. They were together. She should have, owned up to it and said, yes, we were dating each other, right? But then I gotta come at him like, dude, you are like a dog with a bone when it comes to Melody and Vanessa. You won't shut up. Like he's annoying as hell. Let's pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next scene we got to talk about is Destiny and Tisha. So they went out. I don't know if they get told that they have to talk about each other. They get told what to talk about when they meet up with each other, because I'd be damned. Just like with Melody. Melody was talking about Letitia them, and here is Letitia talking about Melody, and I'm like, oh my God. If I don't like a person, if I don't rock with a person, if I don't fuck with a person, I'm not gonna sit here and have any kind of conversation about you, because what is the purpose in doing that, right? So, Destiny was talking about how her boyfriend is not too happy with her because when she comes to visit him, she doesn't cook. Nigga, do you got two working feet and two working hands? And even if you don't, There are people who don't have there are people that don't have arms and hands and shit like that, and they still know how to cook. I saw one woman who was cooking who ain't got nobody's arms, but was cooking with her feet. She had her feet up and she was cooking with her feet. I think she was making some eggs too, cause she had that fork in between her feet and in between her toes, and she was cooking. So miss me with the bullshit. If somebody doesn't have any arms and if somebody doesn't have hands, arms, or anything like, cause she had no arms. She had no arms. She had nothing. She just literally was cooking with her feet. Her feet. And I saw people who don't have any arms cooking using a mouth. Baby, get creative. Use whatever you have. Use it. So then they talk about the Madani relaunch, and Destiny's talking about how both Melody and Stormy came. They want to say it was under the guise that it was a public event. Well, Destiny, baby, it was a public event. If you put out a flyer, honey, that was as public as you can get. So then she tells her about how Stormy did come correct. She went down to her what's her place called? Her distribution center, her warehouse. They talked, and she told Stormy how instead of her giving her that Gucci gift, she would prefer for her to bring some products so that way she could have a pop-up shop. But Destiny, is your shop currently open? I'm gonna have to do a quick dive on that when I edit this video to see if Madani is open. So then they talk about Melody, and Letitia asks that Melody and Martell apologize for what happened at her relaunch. She tells Letitia that Melody didn't. Oh God, I just don't understand talking about somebody that you don't like. If I don't like a I can't. Baby, if I ever joined a reality show and there was somebody on there that I didn't fuck with, and they say, okay, so we need you to, if the producers come to me and say, you guys have to talk about what happened last night, I'm gonna be like, why? Why? Like, I'm gonna be like Candace did on Real Housewives of Potomac last Sunday. Keep my fourth wall. I'm gonna talk. I know you're not. When it comes to the producers of these shows, you're supposed to act like they aren't there, right? I wouldn't, because if I have somebody sitting in front of me and they bring up somebody that I don't want to discuss, I'm gonna look at the camera and be like, look at here. Why did y'all set this scene up? I don't want to talk about this motherfucker. Like, we're not cool. What more do you want me to say? I'm not gonna sit here and have a long, drawn out conversation about a person I don't like. Cut the scene. Is that what you want? Good. Keep that in there too. Don't take that out. So that way that person knows that I wasn't discussing them. Like, no. I just don't get it. But hey. So Letitia also told Destiny about the meetup that they had as the comeback group, and what they discussed about social media and how they just really shouldn't address each other. So they're going to have a sit down with Ms. Wanda. So that's where we're going to end the episode at, with Ms. Wanda, Marceau, and Letitia talking, right? Ms. Wanda, you guys. I know there are people out there that like Ms. Wanda, but let's call a spade a spade. That woman is not that bright. So she keeps saying that she was talking about Melody's last baby, but she wasn't talking about her baby. The last baby came from Melody, so that's her baby. Like, I get Ms. Wanda was doing a clap back, but girl, there are other ways to clap back at Melody. There are other ways you can clap back at Melody Hope, but hey, Melody Cherie. There are many ways you can clap back at her. That wasn't it. So I'm gonna keep it real with you because I don't want to go too deep into this. Because honestly, why do I keep wanting to say Maurice? Marceau and Letitia kept telling her, going on social media, don't mention the kids. Like, now when Marceau was trying to say that, because basically it sounded like he was trying to say that talking about them gives them relevance. I was like, huh? Okay. I want them to know that they were talking to a goddamn brick wall with Miss Wanda. They were talking to a brick wall, but hey. Now, the thing that I found was kind of funny was the hooked on Fonda's comment. Alright, you guys, so that's all I got. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys later.